Alright. November. Oh no! November! 1867. We know what's coming. We know what's coming. 1867. What is this? Oh, I think I know what it is. It's with Harada and Nagakura, isn't it? Yep. We can skip this. If we're gonna skip this, I'm putting the air on because it's hot. Speaking of Sakamoto, we have not seen him at all. And he's one of the roots, so I don't know. And what am I gonna do? Well, I still wanted to help. Still, I wanted to do what I could. It might be my last chance to see Heisuke. Please, let me go. I won't get in the way.
今回のは使いでも遊びでもねえんだ。一時は同志だった奴らの暗殺だ。万が一のことがあれば、平助だって切ることになるかもしれねえんだぜ。
I know. It's not something to be taken lightly. I knew that the Shinsengumi had carried out these sorts of black operations before. There was no way I could have stayed with them as long as I had and not known, but I couldn't just let them shoulder all the responsibility. I was done looking away until the deed was done. No more. Perhaps it's presumptuous of me to say so, but I consider myself a member of the Shinsengumi. And because we're going through this, I want to help everybody. His face had lost its usual warmth. It wasn't anger or cruelty that it showed now, but the gravity of a general addressing his men. I had already decided I would, Is it, yeah, help with Ito. Please, let me help you with Ito. Kondo-san stared back at me, watching me with what looked like fierce determination, as if he was always looking to analyze my own, and eventually... Yeah, we're doing this scene again. Let's go. Afterwards, Ito obliged to Kondo-san's invite and visited his second home.
今日は一体どういう風の吹き回しかしら。何か私に聞きたいことがあるとおっしゃっていましたけど。
これは伊藤さん、よくいらしてくれました。いや、話というのは他でもないのです。揺れ動く昨今の政局を見るにつけ、我々も今後の身の振り方を真剣に考えねばと思うようになりましてな。
近藤さん、堅苦しい話は後にしねえか。まずは口の滑りをよくしねえとな。
Ishikata-san reached out for the sake and poured some for Ito.
まさか土方君の酌を受けることになるとは思いませんでしたわね。
そう言うなって。俺たちはあんたみてえに学があるわけじゃねえから理解するのに時間はかかったが、ここに至ってようやく気づいたんだよ。あんたが言ってたことが正しかったって
な。このお酒に毒が入っているなんてことはないでしょうね。
なんだ、信じられねえか。それじゃ。
Ishikata-san poured Ito's sake into his cup and drank it all.
どうだ、毒なんて入っちゃいねえだろ。
失礼なことを申し上げてしまったわね。それじゃ私も。
Ito took a sip of the sake. As the sake got more into his system, Ito grew rosy in his cheeks, and he was jollier than usual.
そもそもかの相沢正史斎先生が新論を著し外医の危機を訴えたのがいつなのかご存知？ 40年前ですわよ。40年前。その間幕府が一体どれだけの改革を成したというのです？
確かに伊藤さんがおっしゃる通りですな。幕臣の方々は腰が重くていかん。
そうでしょう、そうでしょう。一説には幕府は蝦夷地を担保にして異国から借金をし軍の様式化を進めているとか。
Wait, I heard rumors that the shogunate turned the land of Ezo collateral. Oof. Oh no, Ezo! I have to. Damn, I have to learn all about Ezo now because I kind of need to know it for my character. Oh no.
なんと、それは本当ですかな。
ええ、確かな筋から得た情報ですわ。一度西洋に売り渡した領地は戦に勝って取り戻すしかないというのに、あんな外交音痴たちに国を任せていたら早晩日本は西洋の植民地となってしまいますわ。
なるほど。近藤さん、こりゃ俺たちもいろいろと考え直した方がいいかもしれねえな。
そうだな。伊藤さん、今後も我々をご指導くださいますかな。
ええ、もちろんですわ。学べばすなわちこうならずというでしょ。あなた方も絶えず学び続けていないと頭が固くなってしまっていけませんわよ。
ああ、道は違えど目指すところは同じだ。もう一杯どうだ、伊藤さん。
More drinks for Ito! Get him as drunk as possible!
ええ、いただきますわ。このお酒とても飲みやすいわね。
Here you are. It was perfectly normal alcohol, no poison or drugs. We were just making him drunk in order to murder him. How was that any different than me pouring poison straight into his cup?
あら、震えてるわよ。大丈夫？気分でも悪いのかしら？
いやいや、心配には及びませんよ。伊藤さん相手に緊張しているのでしょう。
あらあら、私のことがそんなに気にかかるのかしら？いけない子ですこと。
What do you mean by that, Ito? I swear to God.
確かにな。手と顔に出てるぞ。こういう場にもそろそろ慣れておけよ。たく。
The subtle message was clear. Hide your emotions. Still, the way he said it, I want to slap you. I swallowed and nodded. It had been my choice to help with Ito's assassination. The least I could do now was not get in the way. Ah, I'm sorry.
まあまあ、お酒の席ですもの。固いことは一個なしですわ。
さすが伊藤さん、器が大きいですな。
他に何か聞きたいことはあるかしら？何でも答えてあげてよ。
Time passed and Ito was drunk.
今日は大変有意義なお話ができましたわ。それではごきげんよう。
ええ、それでは。 道が暗いですからお気をつけてお帰りください。
誰に聞いていらっしゃるのかしら。この私を殺そうとする不届き者なんてこの京にはいませんわよ。
After spending all night expounding on his theories for the advancement of Japanese society, Ito-san drunkenly stumbled off into the darkness. I watched him disappear. It would be the last time I would see him alive. I just quietly stared. I suddenly felt Kondo-san's big hands on top of my shoulders.
後味が悪いものだ。
これが俺たちの選んだ道、俺たちの役目だ。威張れるものじゃねえってのはよくわかってる。前に進むためにはこんな汚い仕事だってこなさなきゃならん。
My heart felt conflicted. I couldn't say anything. I was the one who chose to be here, but still.
近藤さんもついでにお前もあんまり深く背負い込むな。今回のことを計画したのも指示したのもこの俺なんだから。
What happened afterwards was not something I cared to remember. Ito, too drunk to fight back, was quickly killed by the men waiting for him. But the night was far from over. Battle and bloodshed awaited at Aburano Koji for Nagakura and the men sent to ambush the guardians of the imperial tomb. Fate waited for Okita, convulsing at the headquarters in Fudodo village. For them, for all of us, we waited a night after which nothing would be the same. Today felt like the longest day out of the year, and it dragged on so that seconds ticked one by one. Finally, the night was drawing to its closing moments before dawn emerged when the sky was at its darkest. I had been sitting beside Souma, who stood as the sentry while we gazed upon the overcast sky.
門の周囲は異常なし。今日一日が嘘のように静かですね。
I know.
雪村先輩、無理に俺に付き合う必要なんてないですから。もうこんな時間です。先輩は部屋に戻って休んでください。
I should, but I've just been feeling so restless.
気持ちはわかります。今日はいろいろありましたから。
Yeah, whirlwind is about right. The assassination of Kashitaro Ito sparked an incident, later known as the Aburano Koji incident, erupted between the Shinsengumi and the guard. As fate would have it, this moment of vulnerability invited Kazuma and his men to attack the compounds. Since most of the Shinsengumi captains were occupied elsewhere, we suffered heavy casualties. With all of us being pulled in so many directions, it was hard to find a moment of reprieve, let alone quiet, in order to process how comfortless we all felt. Only just a while ago did things finally settle down. So I was sure the other warriors were completely exhausted, sleeping as if they'd never wake again. From what Harada had said to me, it seemed like the battle at Aburano Koji was a bloody, drawn-out one. It was only supposed to be between the Shinsengumi and the guard, but the Satsuma and the demons ended up participating as well. In the middle of the fray, Heisuke had suffered a fatal wound. As they were carrying his unconscious body to the compounds, everything became bleak as I felt the blood drain from my face in shock. I want to stay up just a little while longer. I'm worried about Heisuke.
大丈夫です、雪村先輩。東堂さんは強い人ですから。山崎さんや三男総長も必死に治療に当たっています。今は信じましょう。
Thanks, Souma. He was doing his best to offer me some support that I could appreciate. I suppose that all we could do was pray for the best, rather than wallow in the gloom of it all. I fluttered my eyes a few times to fight back the tears, and I turned to face Souma. So what became of the guard members, apart from Heisuke?
俺も詳しくは分かりません。切られたり逃げたり、そんな感じらしいです。でも伊藤さんが死んだのは事実。もう組織としては終わりかもしれません。
Oh, makes sense. As someone who was somewhat involved in Ito's death, the reality of this stung quite a bit. I knew, though, deep down, that there was no other choice we had. But I couldn't help but think about whether all of this was the right thing to do. Rarely are we trusted to make these decisions alone. What if there was another way? If there was something else we could have done instead of killing Ito, this wouldn't have happened.
ふざけんな。今さら善人ぶってんじゃねえぞ。
Oh. 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 Shit. Fuck. It's happening. Alright. AC off. We're into this now. A deep voice came from nowhere to interrupt me in the middle of my thought. The person who had stepped forward before us was a man with a fury burning in his eyes. Miki?
どうしてあんたがここに？
聞くまでもねえだろうが。今お前らが話してた通りさ。俺たちはあの油工事で新選組と薩摩の連中に襲撃された。
Miki was glaring at the compounds with tired eyes, and he was almost dragging himself to move forward. Dripping from his ragged, torn clothing were patches of bloodstains, and he still had his sword drawn.
そこで服部が死んだ。もうないも死んだ。東堂も死んだ。
Takeo Hattori, a member of the Guardians of the Imperial Tomb, he moved to the capital with Ito. He was originally a member of the Shinsengumi before joining the Guard. Arinosuke Monai, a member of the Guardians of the Imperial Tomb, he moved to the capital with Ito. He was originally a member of the Shinsengumi before joining the Guard.
それに兄貴も。
Miki's body swayed back and forth. He appeared so disoriented as he drew closer to the compounds. When Miki came near to us, Souma drew out his sword.
待て、ミキ三郎！どこへ行くつもりだ！
決まってんだろ。近藤と土方のところだ。兄貴を殺すように命じた土方を殺す。許可を出した近藤を殺す。止めなかった幹部どもを殺す。 腕をちぎって足をもいで心臓をえぐって首をはねて
Oh shit.
てめえらのムクロも今日の辻に片っ端から晒してやらなきゃ俺の気が済まねえんだよ。
ふざけるな。お前の勝手にはさせない。この俺がさせやしない。
また邪魔するってのか。どけよ犯人前が。てめえ、
あんたの剣は直線的すぎる。怒りに任せてただ振るっているだけだ。これならあの風間千景の方がよほど早かった、強かった。
小性風情が一丁前に剣を語るんじゃねえよ。
そもそもあんたの恨みは筋違いだ。先に局長の暗殺を企てたのはそちらだと聞いているぞ。
だったらどうした。近藤なんざ侍になりたいだけのお山の大将じゃねえか。学もねえ、時流を読むこともできねえ、刀を振るうだけの田舎者風情が。あんなやつより俺の兄貴の方が新選組をうまく扱えたってもんだ。
だから局長を殺して隊を乗っ取るつもりだったのか。
Over Hijikata-san's dead body.
そんな勝手が通ってたまるか。
The shrieking clash of their blades meeting was hurting my ears as I cut through the darkness. I can't just sit here watching them fight. I have to do whatever I can to help Souma. Souma, hang in there. I'm going to call someone.
余計なこと。
As I attempted to make a run for the building, Miki clicked his tongue maliciously, and he darted towards me. It was glowing with a vengeful fury, and his glare could have stopped me in my tracks.
近藤たちに伝えとけ。俺はお前らを許さねえ。いずれこの手で喉笛かき切ってやるってな。
He flashed one less hateful expression, as if he was going to kill me, then and there, but he ran off. Perhaps Miki knew that he would die if he strained himself too hard. Then Souma stuck his sword into the ground out of frustration and fell to his knees.
くそ、取り逃がしたか。
Souma, are you hurt at all?
大丈夫です。それより近藤局長に報告を。
We ran into the compounds hastily, but I couldn't shake Miki's shrill threats from my head. For us, Ito-san presented a threat as a rival for Kondo-san's power, and his attempt to assassinate Kondo-san made it untenable for him to ignore him. But for Miki, his anger and threats came from what we did to a member of his family. Even after Miki had disappeared, his hex echoed over and over in my head, giving me anxiety over what he could still do.